Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 7 of the Realistic League Expansion Series videos featuring the Baltimore Panthers. Last episode, we finished the NBA draft, where we drafted Steve Forbes with the 3rd overall pick. We also traded our 16th overall pick from the Memphis Grizzlies and Brendan Clark for Nikola Topic. Using our own 2nd round pick, we drafted Isaac Ewing with the 33rd pick. I'm not sure what caused this glitch, but every player declined their player options, and also every team declined their team options on their young players. This in return made young players like Victor Wembanyama, Paolo Banchero, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, and every other player on a team option an unrestricted free agent, which absolutely made zero sense. Luckily, I had a backup, and I went and I manually made sure every player stayed on their team. Here's just an example of what I was talking about. 21-year-old Scoot Henderson, who just concluded his 2nd year in the NBA, is an unrestricted free agent. 0 cents. I don't know why 2K does this glitch. It's the first time I've seen it, but I decided to close my app. Luckily, I had a backup as well, so I just used that, and I manually made every young player accept their team option. All right, I'm back, and I have done it. The free agency class looks a little bit different and a bit worse, but it is more realistic this way. I have my eyes on 22-year-old center Alperen Sengun from the Houston Rockets. I want to give him a contract offer a bit more than what he's expecting. Alperen Sengun in real life already signed a contract extension with the Houston Rockets, but that happened after the series had started, so it didn't register in the game. Sengun's attribute grades show that he's above average on the offensive side of things, although he is slightly below on defense. Regardless, I think he'd be a great franchise player for our team, and I'm going to give him about $8 million more than what he's asking for per year. Sengun was only seeking about $30 million, but I decided to give him $38 million, a front deal, 3+1 team option deal. We have given the Houston Rockets 3 days to match the contract offer, a 3-year, $109 million deal, and if they don't, Alperen Sengun will come to the Baltimore Panthers. The Houston Rockets decided to not match Alperen Sengun's contract offer, so that means he's officially a member of the Baltimore Panthers. Alperen Sengun has 13 badges, and he's coming off a very solid year where he put up 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5.5 assists, a steal, and half a block per game. He also shot the ball very well from the field, 50, 35, and 68. The next player I decided to throw a contract offer to is 32-year-old Malcolm Brogdon, 6'4" guard with 8 badges. I think he'll be an amazing mentor for Nikola Topic. I'm going to give him a 2+1, $16 million deal, front deal, a team option at the end. I'm going to give Gary Payton II a 1+1, $5.7 million back deal with a team option at the end and a no trade clause. He comes in with 8 defensive badges. Malcolm Brogdon decided to sign with the San Antonio Spurs instead of us. With the retirement of Chris Paul, Brogdon will be the lead playmaker on that Spurs team. And I won't lie, I'm a bit disappointed with his decision, but I don't hold it up against him because, hell, if I had the opportunity to play with Victor Wembanyama, I would take it as well. On the plus side, Gary Payton II has decided to sign his contract offer from us, so welcome to the team, GP2. I also decided to give a contract offer to Al Horford, a 1-year, $14 million deal with a no-trade clause. Al Horford comes in with 11 badges, and he also brings championship experience. I also decided to give Ibou Badji a 2-way contract once again. His overall is down a little bit because of morale issues, but he'll be a welcome addition back on the roster. He'll also be on a 2-way contract, meaning that he'll spend some time in the G League and some time with us in the regular team. These are all the free agents that we signed. Ibou Badji on a 2-way contract, Al Horford on a 1-year deal, Gary Payton on a 2-year deal, Alperen Sengun on a 4-year deal, Jaden Hardy signed a re-extension, and ignore Xavier Simpson, Keontae Johnson, and the other Ibou Badji signing, as that's just a glitch in 2K system. I'm also going to show you the signings from around the league. The Philadelphia 76ers give a one-year deal to Garshon Yabusele, Kevon Looney, Bradford Hood, Larry Nance Jr., and Harrison Ingram. The Milwaukee Bucks signed Alex Fudge to a one-year deal and signed Josh Richardson and Amir Coffey to a two-year deal. The Chicago Bulls signed Arthur Vaughn, Jalen Pickett, Jalen Wilson, and former Panther Bruce Brown to a two-year deal. The Cleveland Cavaliers signed power forward Nikita Shaganov and Ellis Shaw to a one-year deal, and they signed Isaiah Joe on a 3-year, $32 million contract. The Boston Celtics signed Robin Malone, Dean Farrell, Brian Haywood, and Talon Horton-Tucker, all to one-year deals. The Los Angeles Clippers signed Nashawn Highland to a one-year deal. They signed Bol Bol and Isaiah Jackson to two-year deals. The Memphis Grizzlies signed Ansej Paxis-Nix, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Brook Lopez to a two-year deal. The Atlanta Hawks signed Marvin Bagley to a two-year deal and Jalen Johnson on a very team-friendly deal for 3 years. The Miami Heat signed a bunch of players, Drew Smith on a one-year deal, Keontae Johnson on a one-year deal, Imani Bates on a one-year deal, and Russell Westbrook on a one-year deal. They also signed Josh Christopher to a two-year deal. The Charlotte Hornets bring in KJ Simpson, Luke Kennard, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Kennard and Walker will sign two-year deals. Bojan Bogdanovic goes back to the Utah Jazz. They also sign a bunch of other players as well. Dario Saric signs a two-year deal with the Kings. Patrick Beverley signs a one-year deal with the New York Knicks. The Los Angeles Lakers re-sign LeBron James. They also bring in Mason Plumlee, Jacob Toppin, Charlie Jeffries, Colin Castleton, Christian Coloco, and Adrian Mullen. The Orlando Magic signed Jalen Suggs to a three-year deal, and they also bring in Caris LeVert for 2 years. The Dallas Mavericks re-signed Kyrie Irving to a 5-year, $252 million deal. They also bring in Trey Jones as the backup point guard of this team and re-signed Quentin Grimes to a one-year deal. The Brooklyn Nets were extremely busy this offseason, bringing in a bunch of new players: DeAnthony Melton, Steven Adams, Moses Moody, Dalen Terry, Vasilija Micic, and others. The Denver Nuggets replaced Russell Westbrook with DeLon Wright on a 2-year deal. Miles Turner signs a 4-year, $98 million contract re-extension with the Indiana Pacers. This is what we ended up doing once again. Ibubaji on a 2-way contract, Al Horford 1-year deal, Gary Payton a 2-year deal, Alfred Sengun a 4-year deal, and Jaden Hardy on a contract extension for 5 seasons. The New Orleans Pelicans bring in Santi Aldama on a 1-year deal. The Detroit Pistons signed Malik Beasley and Kevin Porter Jr. to 2-year deals. The Toronto Raptors signed Precious Achiuwa back to a 2-year deal. The Houston Rockets were busy. They replaced Alfred Sengun back with Clint Capella, Luke Kennard, Jalen Williams. Fred VanVleet signs a re-extension, and so does Jalen Green. The Jalen Williams that the Houston Rockets signed, not to be confused with OKC forward Jalen J-Dub Williams. This is J. Will Williams, the center. The Phoenix Suns bring in Kendrick Williams, Monte Morris, Delonte Banton, Adama Sanogo, Damian Lee, and Ruben Simmons. The Seattle Supersonics were pretty busy this offseason. They brought back Lonzo Ball. They brought in Dennis Schroeder, Gary Trent, Andre Drummond, Corey Kispert, Isaiah Wong, and Corey Burke. The Oklahoma City Thunder bring back Trey Mann on a 2-year, $17 million deal. The reigning champions Minnesota Timberwolves bring in Dante Exum and Trey Lyles on 2-year deals. The Portland Trailblazers re-sign Jabari Walker to a 1-year deal. They also bring in D'Angelo Russell on a 3-year deal. The Golden State Warriors bring in Naz Reid and Taurean Prince. And last but not least, the Washington Wizards bring back Tristan Vukcevic on a 2-year deal, and they also sign Chris Middleton to a 4-year, $106 million contract. Those were all the free agency signings, and now let's go ahead and take a look at player progression. Alfred Sengun jumps up by 2 overall points, now being an 87 overall. His interior scoring goes up to an A, and his IQ goes up to a B+. Despite only playing 39 games because of a back injury, Aaron Wiggins goes up by 1 overall points. Aaron Wiggins still listed as my best three-point shooter on the team. Jaden Hardy jumps up by 4 overall points to a 77 now, becoming a lethal offensive weapon as he has an A-3 and mid-range shot now. His playmaking also increased as he went from a B to a B+. His IQ, physicals went up as well, and unfortunately his defense did not. One thing I didn't expect was the overall jump from Nikola Topic. He went up by 4 overall points, making him a better offensive player. He also becomes a better perimeter defender and also a better playmaker, definitely filling in the holes that we need on this team. Another thing I noticed is that he has 4 badges now. It's crazy how in a matter of weeks, Markelle Fultz went from being the best point guard on my team to now being the worst one. The next player that took a big jump is 22-year-old Ryan Dunn. He is up by 5 overall points, making him a better interior scorer, a better three-point scorer, and a better defender, which is already a very scary thought. He also develops his physical strength and also his athleticism. His IQ also went up, and he developed 11 badges. Caleb Houston up by 3 as well. His overall scoring ability is better, and he does increase his perimeter defense as well. His playmaking and IQ also go up, which is good. He still has 3 badges, which was the same from last season. Toumani Camara remains the same 74 overall he began the season with, but there are some minor jumps in his grades. Pacome Dadier is up by 4 overall points, seeing increases in his three-point and mid-range scoring ability. His overall defense as well increases. Terrence Shannon Jr. only sees a +1 to his rating as he becomes a better defender and a better playmaker. Our two-way acquisition Ibu Baji, now a 71 overall player, also goes up by 4 overall points. One thing I noticed is he has 5 badges now, and I wasn't sure if he had those before. Overall, he's a better interior finisher, a better inside defender, and a better rebounder. I wanted to highlight this Summer League game against the Charlotte Hornets. Nikola Topic with 23 points on top of the scoring leaders. He did shoot 5 of 17 from the field. Steve Forbes, 22, 4 and 4, and 2 steals as well, as he shot the ball 8 of 17. Toumani Camara with 18 points in 14 minutes, Hardy with 15 points, Ewing with 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting, and 4 for 8 from deep. Pacome Dadier, 10 points. There were 5 games that were played in the Summer League, and this is what the scoring looked like. Steve Forbes led my team in scoring with 21 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and almost 2 steals per game. He did undershoot from the field a little bit, but I'm sure as the season progresses, his field goal percentage will rise. Jaden Hardy, 15 points, 2.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 1 steal per game on pretty good, solid efficiency. Nikola Topic, 14, 4 and 3 on 1 steal and half a block per game, although he did severely undershoot from the field. Toumani Camara, our last double-digit scorer, 10 points in just 14 minutes of action per night. Here's the number 1 overall projected pick from the 2026 NBA draft class, Lonnie Paul, a 6'5" shooting guard that is versatile enough to run the small forward and point guard as well. His comparisons are Dwayne Wade and Sam Jones, and he's a good playmaker, a deadly jump shooter, and could be an all-star someday. The projected 4th overall pick, Richard Ingram, a 6'6" power forward, is projected to be Tim Duncan, Hall of Fame potential, and Dan Issel bench potential. For a 19-year-old, he seems to be having a lot of strength for his position, a good but not great pickpocketing ability, and with the right tutelage, he could become a star in this league. He seems to be a bit of a raw prospect, but could be a player worth taking a risk on. Thank you for watching this episode of the Realistic League Expansions series. This one has been a bit of a shorter episode, but I can't wait to get started with the season. Thank you for watching, and peace.